whispers of a place far to the north, a village forgotten by sound. Into this quiet misery walks a man who trades not in gold, but in broken promises.
The villagers live as ghosts. Their mouths can form the words, but no sound ever escapes. Only a painful, desperate silence, and the clumsy gestures of those who have lost their tongues. One brave soul, an elderly woman with eyes that have seen too much, approaches him with a plea etched on her face.
The arrival of an outsider does not break the stillness. Only curious, voiceless eyes follow his every step.
He doesn't need words to understand. His craft is listening to the echoes of what was broken. The path leads him away from the sad village, into the black heart of the hemlock mire itself.
And here he finds the first sign, a scar left by the curse on the very bones of the land.
These are no mere blighted plants. They are echoes of stolen voices, frozen in their final, silent scream.
The blight spreads further than he thought. The very marsh seems to be weeping silent tears of stone.
But amidst the petrified screams, a different kind of silence calls to him. A memory buried in the mire.
A sigil, a promise. He had seen this shape before, in the trembling hands of a desperate woman.
The mire had offered its secrets. Now he must face the silence of the people who kept them. He sought the old woman, keeper of the first plea. He needed no voice to ask his question. Fear, sharper than any blade, broke her stillness. A fear of the memory he now held in his hand. She led him from the square to a place where old things sleep and sins are remembered. And there, hidden from the light, was the story of their vow. A tapestry woven with thread and treason. Generations ago, a famine gripped this land. The mire gave nothing, and the village began to starve. So they promised the Old One of the Marsh, the village's most beautiful sound, in exchange for life.
The entity accepted their vow. The mire bloomed, the harvest was saved, and the silence of starvation ended. A life for a sound, a simple, binding pact. But generations passed, and the debt was conveniently forgotten.
They enjoyed the mire's bounty, but refused to pay the price. They kept their beautiful sounds for themselves.
So the Old One of the Marsh came to collect its due. It took not one sound, but all of them.
But a vow, even one of shadow and spite, has rules. And Cahalan was a master of those rules.
He could not fight the curse with iron or steel. This was a wound that required a more delicate touch.
A debt of sound was owed. He would have to craft a new offering, or sever the ancient pact forever.
To break a vow invites only chaos. The only way forward was to see the old promise finally fulfilled. He would carve a new sigil, a vessel to hold a sound beautiful enough to pay the ancient debt. But wood alone was not enough. It needed an echo, a memory of the song the village never sang. The work was done. A silent song, trapped in wood and will, an offering fit for a forgotten god.
He did not wait for dawn. A debt this old must be paid under the cold watch of the moon. The mire was waiting. It felt his purpose, and the ancient, hungry silence deepened around him. It rose from the black water to meet him, not of flesh, but of mist, memory, and a promise betrayed. Cahalan presented the sigil, a new promise to replace the old, a silent song to quell a silent rage.
And the ancient thing listened,
It tasted the echo of the vow and weighed the worth of the vow breaker's work.
The offering was accepted. The silent song was beautiful enough. The debt was paid in full.
And across the mire, in the sleeping village, the silence shattered.
Its purpose fulfilled, the mire grew quiet once more. The vow breaker was, as always, left alone.
He left as he came, a stranger. His payment was not coin, but the knowledge of a promise mended.
And sound returned to Hemlock Mire. Cautious at first, then joyous, a gift they would not forget again.
For a vow is a living thing, and some debts, once made, must always be paid.
Have a theory? Join the discussion in our pinned comment. For more stories like this one, subscribe and click the bell. Thank you for watching.